Welcome back to Whitt Acres. We are going to be doing some planting of some irises today. It is the hottest day of the year. It's 77 degrees today, maybe 78, and it's a great day to be outside. So this is the rock mound, and I need to plant some irises. There's already a bunch of irises out here, so I figure might as well put them here. I don't know what color they are. I believe these are purple and orange, but there's no way to know right now. I'm gonna have to just grow them and see what they turn out to be. So I got all these little free irises from a nice lady in Latrobe, and I need to get them in the ground. It's been a little bit too long. Over on the end there, I believe there's a purple iris, and then a yellow, and then a red, and then this one's a yellow. So, oh, there's a tag over here. There is a dwarf bearded, oh, that has more letters. Hold on. Cat's eye dwarf bearded iris is supposed to be planted right here. I do not see anything coming up. Strange. Alright, well, either way, I'm gonna be putting the irises down here on the front, and I'll probably just speckle them in between these clumps of irises. So they need to go in, and then I'll be over there in the new opening we have because the hemlock tree fell out. If you watched our first full property tour video, I showed you that going down, and I will be putting in a walkway over there. So let me get these irises planted in the ground, and then I'll head over there to work on the walkway. Here we are in the centrally located triangle garden we have here on the property, and I'm planning on putting a walking path straight through here to the left of that arborvitae because it's just a little bit too wide here in the center of the property to walk around, get to the barn and such. So I'm going to put this walking path in. I got some red brick here and some patio stone, walking stone, and I think I can make a path out of this. I got some more of that. That's just the first load. I'm thinking that I'm going to line up the red brick along the edge, get a form here, red brick on either side, the stone in the middle, and then fill in around the stone with some pea gravel. I'm going to get working on this and we'll see how it turns out. So this is what I'm thinking for the walkway. Some brick on the outside, stepping stones down the middle, and then all this around the outside to be filled in with pea gravel. And then for all the flowers outside will be mulch. I think that'll look nice. So I gotta go get another load of brick and patio stone and try and keep going with this pattern. So I got all these brick laying back here from something else we saved. My dad doesn't like getting rid of stuff, which really helps me out. I'll utilize it. So I'm just loading up another load of brick. I can fit about 20 brick and some stepping stones in the wheelbarrow before it starts really bottoming out here. It's already cracked and broken, so I can't load it up too much, but alright, we got our load and we're gonna go ahead and finish that walking path over there. Here is the finished, well, it's not finished, but here is how far I got on the walkway. Brick outside, stepping stones in the middle, and then I will even out and level out all these stepping stones once we get the pea gravel filler in the middle. So there it is, perfect step. And then I capped it because we get some washout water coming down this end here along the outside of the mulch, and I didn't want it washing away the pea gravel or washing the mulch into the pea gravel. So here we go, nice little walkway heading through the garden. Now I'm going to need a lot more plants to fill out this area here where the hemlock tree came out, but that is something I am willing to do. Pretty nice to have a new place to decorate and put in some more plants. All right. Alright, we got them all speckled in here. You can see a couple right beside me here. 1, 2. And then I put them all along just inside this rock wall here. There's a purple iris, which is actually variegated. You can see light green stripe through that one. But I got an iris there, an iris right behind it. Iris is pretty much all along this inside wall here, just inside the rocks. So I have a Lucifer red one there, that cat's eye dwarf. I actually don't know if that one ever came up last year. And then I put 2 in here. This one's a yellow. I put 2, 3, 4 in there. And then this was already filled in with iris, so I just kept moving around the wall here. And I put the rest right here in the patch, right next to the walkway. This is Lucille's Glory of the Snow, and it always seems to be blooming right when spring is starting. It's a weed, and it's just right here on the corner of the barn, but it comes back every single year, and it's always one of the first things to bloom. Good catch. Here is the patch of daffodils I got dug up from a house that did not need them anymore. It was in foreclosure, so free plants. I got the whole root ball since they're already in full bloom. I didn't want to break them apart or anything. These have a nice fragrance to them actually. So I'm gonna have to find a place in the landscape that I can, or that needs a little bit of color. So let's go looking. Check out these beautiful tulips. These are the kind that open and close every day. So they closed last night and they're in full open right now. Just a very rich color. I like those. So as you're planting and designing your landscape, you want to look around at different times of year and see what doesn't have any color and might need some color for this time of year. Oh, they smell so good. And my food forest doesn't have any color right now. Ooh! I spoke too soon. My nectarine tree is blooming. What a beautiful little flower that is. Go ahead and focus. On second thought, the food forest is going to be blooming here soon, so what I noticed is I don't have any color right now for spring color over in the pergola. Thinking I might put them right there on the back center post, get some color on the inside there. There's nothing else blooming out here. Like I said, right here we have some white daffodils in a row along the edge, but they got frosted, so they're not blooming. And then I do have a grape hyacinth over there in the corner, but it's not even blooming yet either. So I'm gonna put those right there in the middle. Hopefully I can get a hole that doesn't have roots in it, but I'm gonna go ahead and rake away the wood chips so I got nice soil to plant in, dig up that soil, and drop that whole root ball of daffodils right down in, so it might not even skip a beat during the bloom cycle, even though it got transplanted. It also would be well and done before I actually fill up the pergola with the gourds, so it's gonna get plenty of sun. What are you doing? You helping? Get those roots cut. Try don't make a mess, puppy. Just dig the hole, don't make a mess. That's a good boy. With a little help from puppy, we got a new daffodil planted. Now, since I dug it up fully blooming and shoved it in directly in the ground without separating it, looks like it's always been there. So we have a new daffodil and it'll be coming up every year now. So we got the irises planted, We got the daffodil planted, and I got the walkway put in as far as I could go until we get some pea gravel. So it's time to play with Puppy a little bit and check on the plants in here, see what needs water. It was a hot one today, so I'm sure there's some in there that need water. Tomatoes up top, you can see they aren't drooping too bad, so. Well, I'm in the greenhouse and I'm getting everything watered, but I wanted to bring you in, show you the crespedia, because 2 of them germinated and then none of them germinated. So I wanted to show you what I do when this happens. I'm going to use my little utensils here that I got off Amazon, little dibber tools, and I'm going to scoop one out and place it into the other cell. I'm going to scoop one out, put it in here so they have more room to grow, and I'll be able to grow them a little bit bigger in the cell before I have to plant them out in the landscape. Let's get started. Alright, well, first thing you want to do is water it. The roots will separate better whenever it's nice and wet and moist. So go ahead and water that slowly. Let it drain all the way down through so you know all the roots are nice and moist, and they'll be able to separate a lot easier instead of snapping off by being dry. Draining out the bottom. That's watered. I can take my scoop and just put it straight down through all the way to the bottom and pull it up. So there's one crespedia, and you can see that taproot is a lot longer and deeper than the actual cell it's in. So I'm going to take a section out of this one and dump it into the other one. I'm going to gently pack it down so I know that all the roots have good surface soil contact. You don't want any air bubbles in there. There you go. Now I have 3 instead of 3 and 2 cells. I now have 3 in their own cells. They can grow for a lot longer now without being root bound, and I'll be able to plant 3 separate crespedia in the landscape instead of putting 2 together in the same spot. That's what I'm doing right now. I'm going around the greenhouse seeing what needs to be separated out, and I will do that. Alright. And the last thing you want to do is water it in again. Nice heavy flow of water like that so it can pull and really settle all the soil in around the roots. You gotta let it pull up like that so it has a nice volume of water pushing the soil down all around the roots. You can see I have 4 tree cabbage, and that's because I just separated them out. 3 of them germinated in one cell, so now I have 1 in each. You can see the poblano pepper all germinated here, but I have 2 in this cell, 2 here. I have 2 in each cell, so every seed germinated, and actually even the extra seed germinated right there. So I'm actually going to wait on this one because I'm going to have 2 more right here that I can take, and I'm just going to wait till they actually break through the soil completely and open up to their first cotyledon leaves, these ones, and they don't need to set their first true leaves. You can take them as soon as they have their cotyledon. So once they break through the soil and actually are standing up a bit, I'll come in here and scoop them out and separate them all out, so I have all the plants in their own separate cells. All right, we'll see you on the next one. So Puppy still wanted to play, so I'm out here. I decided to take all the rocks off of the rock mound. I'm going to leave this little stack here, and we're definitely leaving the outer front wall here, and everything around the maple will stay too. But everything on the inside of the mound, with the exception of that stack and this stack for now, is going to come off. So I'm just stacking them out around in the back there, and I'll bring the backhoe around and pick them up all at once a little later. Well, not tonight because the sun's already down. So that might be a job for tomorrow. But what I did notice is a little odd. There's a bloom right here. This little thing is blooming, and I'm not sure what it is. There's leaves wrapped around stem, and it's blooming. Not sure what that is. It's coming right out of the middle of a hosta that I have planted here. You can see the hostas coming up all around it, but I'm not sure what that is. Anybody know? Let me know. Huh. Neat. If you watch the property tour, which you probably should, I think you should, I did, but I told you we had orange Asiatic lilies right here, 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 and here, and I usually put some mission yellow marigolds in between them, so it's yellows and oranges along this wall. But I also forgot that there are gladiolas, and here is some remnants of a gladiola, and I noticed I have gladiolas speckled all through the bottom of this bank back here, so gotta remember that I have those. That's not the only thing I have growing out of a hosta. Here you see the hosta shooting up, but this is clearly not a hosta. But it doesn't actually look like a weed either, so, or any of the common weeds in my area. So I'm gonna let it go. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it and see what it turns out to be. Alright, let me find Puppy. There's Puppy. He's waiting on me. What are you doing, Pup?